The wine glass shattered because my mother-in-law forgot how to swallow. It wasn't the sound that froze the room. It was the silence after. My uncle stood at the head of the Christmas table, 20 years older and somehow unchanged, like time had tried and failed to erase him. He smiled at my daughter the way men smile when they already know the ending. "Did you enjoy the lake house I left you?" he asked. My wife's family went still. Forks hovered. Breath stalled. I felt it before I understood it. That subtle shift. Like the floor dropping half an inch beneath my feet. My daughter frowned, confused in the honest way only children can be. "I don't have a lake house," she said. My uncle didn't blink. He didn't apologize. He just looked at me. Then he smiled wider. "Open your grandmother's closet tonight," he said softly. "The blue trunk. Bottom shelf." No one spoke. No one laughed it off. My mother-in-law coughed violently, wine staining the white linen like a wound. My wife stared at her plate, knuckles white, jaw locked so tight I could hear it grind. And in that moment, before questions, before explanations, I knew this wasn't a joke. It was a key. I married into a family that believed in appearances. Smiles first, truth later, if ever. My wife had always been careful, not secretive, strategic. She curated reality the way others. Curate photos, cropping, filtering, discarding anything inconvenient. Her mother controlled the family finances. Her grandmother, long dead, had been a legend. Land, property, old money. Whispers that never quite materialized into proof. And my uncle? He'd vanished 2 decades ago after a vicious inheritance dispute, the kind that fractures bloodlines permanently. I wasn't supposed to remember him, but I remembered the way my wife stiffened when he arrived unannounced. The way her eyes flicked once to our daughter, a look too fast, too sharp. I remembered the lake trips she used to take alone before we married. The stories that never aligned. The grandmother she claimed adored her, yet left her nothing. That night, my wife said nothing on the drive home. Neither did I. Silence can be a confession if you know how to listen. I waited until everyone slept. The house breathed around me, old wood, old lies. My daughter's door was closed, safe, unaware. The closet was exactly where he said it would be. The blue trunk was heavier than it looked. Dust coated the lock like it had been touched recently, then carefully avoided. Inside. Deeds, letters, photos, a lake house, real. Deeded not to my wife, but to my daughter, signed 20 years ago, held in trust. Then the letters. My wife's handwriting, younger, desperate. I can't let him know. She isn't his. Mother says this is the only way. My pulse stayed steady. That scared me more than anger would have. I cross-checked everything over the next week. Property records, dates, DNA. I watched my wife move through the house like an actress who didn't know the audience had changed. She kissed me. She lied to me. She tucked our daughter into bed. And every time I measured her, the DNA results arrived on a Tuesday. 99.9% certainty. My daughter wasn't mine. I printed the report, slipped it into an envelope, waited until dinner. I placed it between us on the table like a folded napkin. "Open it," I said. She did. Her face collapsed in stages. Shock first, then fear. Then something uglier, relief that the waiting was over. "She's still your daughter," she whispered. I nodded. "I know." That's when she started crying. I didn't. Christmas came again, this time at the lake house. I invited everyone. My uncle sat beside me, silent, observant. My mother-in-law drank water only. My wife looked like she was attending her own sentencing. After dinner, I stood. "The house," I said, "belongs to my daughter. Always has." Gasps, protests. I slid the deeds across the table. Then the letters. Then the DNA report. I didn't raise my voice. "I'm filing for divorce. Full custody. Fraud charges follow." My wife broke. Not loudly, internally, like a structure that realizes it was hollow all along. My uncle finally spoke. She deserved better, he said. I nodded. So did I. I moved out with my daughter the next morning. She asked why we had a new house. I told her the truth. Carefully, gently, without poison. Some lies deserve to die quietly. The family never contacted me again. Neither did my wife. I didn't feel victorious. I felt precise. Because revenge isn't rage, it's clarity. And I walked away knowing this. They thought they buried the truth. They forgot I knew how to dig.